And if you grew up in Jamaica and you don't know Washout, we're going to have to revoke your Jamaican card. Welcome back to my channel. It is my pleasure that you decided to join this morning. I see you, yeah man, I see you watching, and I'm happy that you're a part of my community, that you decided to join, and that you have found some value in the videos that I put out each week. So, this is our final week on our Jamaica series, and so we've been talking all things Jamaican for the month of August. As you know, it's Jamaica's birthday month. It's emancipation, and it was Olympics, and even after the Olympics on the Diamond League circuit, our athletes are still doing well. So I thought it fit in to just keep it Jamaican, keep it nice and Jamaican. Today we are talking about Jamaican back to school traditions. So we are almost at the beginning of the next school year. So this year, this back to school is different from all the other back to school years. And so, well, actually the past two back to schools, this one and the last one, have been different because, as we know, we have been going through a pandemic, and so there are a lot of things that are different because we still don't know if persons are going to do full face-to-face school, which is highly likely, or virtual school, or a blended option. But the thing is, children still have to go back to school, and so we are approaching this new school year with the same excitement that school year back to school in Jamaica is always a big thing. And so we're approaching as the children get ready to go back to school. I want us to just talk about some of the things that I think are uniquely Jamaican, and these are some of the traditions that we have upheld over the years. Some are still with us, some are kind of antiquated and we're not using them anymore. But we talk back to school traditions this week. First thing, as Jamaicans, you know, so this week or a few weeks leading up to school, all of the children come back home. So they come back home from country, or they come back home from visiting their relatives abroad. And so one of the traditions in Jamaica is at the beginning of summer, a lot of parents just herd their children off and send them to visit their relatives in country, or send them to visit their relatives in foreign. And so this week, the back to school week, everybody is back home. So people coming from near and far, children coming from near and far, and the homes are filled again because the children have come back home. So when I was growing up, I didn't have any country to go to because my maternal grandparents were not alive, and my paternal grandparents were right beside me. So there was no country to go to. There were no relatives to go to spend the holiday with. But that has always been a Jamaican tradition. I don't know if it still carries today, because a lot of things have changed. Things have changed drastically. And so there are some things that people no longer do. Second back to school tradition. I don't know if anywhere else in the world anybody talk about free paper bun. What is a free paper anyhow? But it is something when it comes to time for back to school, you hear people all over the place talking about, yeah man, on a free paper bun or on a free paper soon bun. Well, just to make it in English, just to put it in English, it's basically the time when your holiday is up. So I guess free paper would mean your period of freedom or your period of holidays from school. It has come to an end. So if, just in case you're in a Jamaican talk, still talking about your free paper bun, because I don't even know if these younger Jamaicans still talk about free paper bun. But that is one thing. Once it's back to school time, you will hear people talking about free paper bun. The third thing about back to school traditions in Jamaica, because we still wear uniforms to school in Jamaica. So back to school means a brand new set of uniform, or a brand new set of khakis as the boys would wear to school. And so for this time you'd have a lot of back and forth to the dressmaker or the tailor for trying and for fitting and all of those things. So it's excitement. New uniform, new bags and new shoes, depending on where in the last term you got a new bag or new shoes, depending on what condition your bag and your shoes will be, your bag and your shoes are in, then you almost are guaranteed new bag and new shoes and new uniform. The trick about making new uniforms is that the new uniforms cannot be made at the close to the beginning of the summer, because during summer there's usually a little growth spurt that goes on, so the children usually grow a lot during the summer, and so you don't want to make it too early in the summer, and then when it comes to back to school time close to September, they cannot fit anymore. So closer to the back to school time, you'll see children going to the tailor, going to the dressmaker for the fitting of the school uniform. So back to school tradition number 4. So in my household, I don't know if everybody used to do it. So you know that during the summer you eat all kind of junk, all kind of crap, whatever it is, you eat it. And so for me, a trip to the dentist and a trip to the doctor is usually standard when you're going back to school, because you want to go to check out, see if everything is okay, and to clean your teeth at the dentist. No, I love my doctor. Big up Dr. Lucian Jones. I think he probably is still in Maple. I'm not sure if he has retired, but big up Dr. Jones. But for the dentist, no sir. I'm not going to call his name by virtue of the fact that I hated going to the dentist, because the dentist was so rough. And I thought it was because I was a child and it was just a phobia. But even my mother, in later years, my mother said, no man, that dentist was really rough. And I realize now, as an adult, going to my current dentist, big up Dr. McLegan, it is different. But back to school tradition, you have to go clean your teeth, you have to go get a checkup at the doctor, and doctor didn't mind, but the dentist didn't like going to the dentist. Next back to school tradition, number 5. And so I spoke a while ago about eating up all kind of junk during the summer. You eat everything, fruits, you eat mangoes, you eat guinea, you overeat, you eat sweets, you eat all kind of sugar. Now for the washout. And if you grew up in Jamaica and you don't know washout, we're going to have to revoke your Jamaican card. Wash out. So now washout is I will call it herb. So it's a little thing. For me, it was a little thing that came in. It came in a little oblong looking container, in an orangish thing. And then you drink it, they boil it and you drink it, and you're supposed to pass all kind of impurities. Well, it didn't usually have a very bad effect on me in terms of the whole diarrhea thing, and so, but I still never liked the washout. And so we realized no people are talking about detoxing. But we see our parents, they had something going, they were on top of things. They discovered a little thing, man, with this washout, because now we call it detox. I don't know what the children are doing nowadays. It's probably a milder form of tea, not so. Yeah, that never tastes good. But still, detox, I think, is still important even now, as the children go back to school, kind of flush their system of some of the things that they were supposed to be eating in the first place, in terms of all of the junk, and just get their systems ready. Because, you know, poor nutrition, it makes them slow in many ways. It makes them lethargic and all of that. So a nice little booster going into the new school year. Sorry, I'm not encouraging the washout or the herb that we used to get, because honestly I'm not sure if it was the best or if it was too strong. But yes, that was a back to school tradition. So tradition number 6, wrapping of books. So we're moving to a new term, or we're moving to a new school, so you know that there are a new set of textbooks. What I know for Jamaican parents is that they love for their children to preserve the books, so that the books are in good condition, so it can probably pass down to somebody else the next year. So back then, people used to use newspaper, people used to use brown paper, all kind of stuff to wrap them. They used to use all like used gift paper to wrap the books. Now I realize that actually go into the pharmacy and you will see these papers that actually have the backing on them. They're glued on, so you actually just remove the backing and you can use it to tape onto the books, which I thought was really cool, much easier. And they even have measurement on it, so you can line it up and you can cut it, right? So not like back in the day, you have to be using rulers and measuring and all of that, and then God forbid you get it wrong, you have to be cutting several times. So wrapping of school books was a real big tradition in Jamaica, probably still is. Well, my nephews still wrap their books. Now schools are virtual for the most part, so I don't know if the need really exists so much, because since the children are not really moving with the books a lot. Now number 7, hairstyles. So when you're going back, it's a new school year, new term, new excitement. So the boys would go to the barber, get their hair cut and lined up and trim and look nice, man, because it's going back to school, so it's excitement. So it's like September morning is like almost like a New Year's, almost like January 1. For me, that was traumatic, because for those who know my hair journey when I was growing up, especially in primary school, I have to be washing this big nappy head of hair, thick hair. Oh, it was a necessity. It had to be done. I'm seeing children, they go to the hairdresser, blow it, wash it, and just nice little twists or cane rows to last them for a week or two. So going back to school, nice and fresh up the hairstyle. So that's our Jamaican tradition. Last one, and this was very key. I think it's this tradition has held up. As you know, if you've been following my videos, you've been watching me, you know that I've grown up in a Christian background, and so the last tradition is that the Sunday leading up to back to school, all the children would line up at the altar, man, for prayer, and they pray a back to school prayer over you, and they cover you for the school year. Not only students but the teachers also, and so that was a very good tradition. It still maintains, because we still do it at church today. So those are some of the things that as Jamaicans, and I think a lot of them are unique to Jamaicans. I don't think these things are practiced across the world. At this time, I'd like to use this opportunity to remind us that, as I said before, it has been a challenging basically 2 years in terms of school, and so there are some students who still have not been able to attend school because they are lacking in resources. And so I use this opportunity to make an appeal. If you have not given to a child as yet, we have a tablet drive going, and I'll insert the flyer here. And this is our parish youth department, or parish youth ministries has a tablet drive going. So I'm just encouraging you at this time, feel free to give to a child, because this coming September, we don't know what format school is going to take. As what format it takes, I know that some children are going to be at a disadvantage because they do not have the requisite tools. So I encourage you, if you can, give to this tablet drive, or if there's a student that needs a uniform. I think for the online school now, they may not need a lot of uniform. They may just need one uniform, so they can repeat each day to just sit in front of the cameras. But if there is anything that you can do to give to a child, anything that you can give to a child who is in need as they prepare for back to school, because as I speak, the new uniforms, the new shoes, the new books, and all of those things, there are some children who cannot afford. Again, it's always my pleasure to share with you, and as we've shared this afternoon, remember, be proud of being Jamaican, because Jamaican is not just a nationality, it's an entire experience, it's an entire mood. Thank you for watching, and you know the drill. Always, as usual, subscribe, share, like, and comment. For those who have been commenting, I truly appreciate it. One love. Thank you all for watching.